Hi, my name is Dustin Klein, and today I'm going to be doing a book talk about a children's picture book by the title of The Day the Crayons Quit, written by Drew Daywalt and illustrated by Oliver Jeffers. This book is a 2014 Children's Choice Book Award. Picture books are defined as a book with minimal text, but the story is mainly told by the use of pictures. They usually average about 1,000 words or less and 32 pages or less. Um, the current cultural trends in this picture book include the break of tradition. The main character in this book, Duncan, uses his crayons in untraditional ways. He spreads things out a little bit, and you'll see further on when we get into the book. This page is a 2-page illustrated book. So right here we have drawings and whatnot, but as you see further on, it also has photography in the book. So getting into the story here, Duncan comes into class one day and he finds a stack of notes rather than his normal crayons at his desk. As he proceeds to open one of the notes, written by none other than the crayons, he finds that the red crayon is unsurprisingly complaining about the way Duncan is using him. He is quite aggravated that he is being used to draw everything that is red, from fire engines to apples to strawberries and everything else that is red. He even has to work on holidays, which he's quite aggravated about. And you see that this text is drawn in red crayon, and the text also is similar or relates to the illustrations on the second page here. So, it mentions fire engines and apples and strawberries, and so we have a fire engine, hearts, apples, and strawberries, and even a Santa suit for the holidays. And proceeding on to the next page, we have the purple crayon, who is very happy that he's Duncan's favorite crayon to draw grapes, dragons, and wizard hats and whatnot, but it drives him insane when Duncan draws out of the lines. So we have examples here of Duncan drawing out of the lines. So he seems to be quite a perfectionist. And he says that if he doesn't straighten up soon, that he's going to completely lose it, bolding those words. Your very neat friend, purple crayon. So he is obviously a perfectionist, as we see here. And then we have the beige crayon, who is sad about kind of being neglected and drawing only strands of wheat. So we have all kinds of personalities and types of crayons that are coming alive. Here we have the gray crayon, who's used to draw everything that's big, and he says that Duncan is killing me. You are killing me, Duncan, right here in his letter. And so he's drawing big elephants or big hippopotamuses or big rhinoceroses and big humpback whales. And when he refers to those things, big or humpback whales, he makes the text big. He draws big. But he suggests that maybe Duncan can draw some smaller stuff, like a baby penguin or some rocks or pebbles maybe. And when he refers to them, he draws it in smaller text. So baby penguins are gray, so he draws it smaller. So it relates again to the illustration. And then next we have the white crayon, who's quite sad about only being able to be used for white thing, or to only draw on black paper to be seen. So she's quite sad about only being seen on black paper. And then we have the black crayon, who's only used to draw outlines. So and while all the other crayons shine, he kind of just sits in the background and draws outlines for those other crayons to shine. And he kind of wants to draw some rainbows maybe, or a pair of swim trunks, or a bathing suit, or maybe a beach volleyball. And he'd just rather not only be an outline, but be some other stuff that shines out. And then here we have the green crayon. So the green crayon seems to like everything that Duncan is doing with his, art and whatnot. He's happy with all the dinosaurs and the alligators and frogs and toads and trees that he's drawing. But he seems to be sad about his two friends, yellow crayon and orange crayon, that are going at it pretty hard right now about who is the color of the sun. So as we proceed on, the yellow crayon is trying to give her example as to why she is the color of the sun. Um, so right here you see in Happy Farm, Duncan drew her the color of the sun. Last Tuesday, she states. Right here you can see the color of the sun. You can see she's also a field of corn and some hay and the little girl's hair and the farmer's clothing. So that's her argument for why she is the color of the sun. And then Orange Crayon proceeds to say that no, I am the color of the sun. You can see that Duncan drew him the color of the sun right here in Meet the Zookeeper in Monkey Island, in the coloring book, the page at the zoo, or the day at the zoo, pardon me. So he says that the yellow crayon is a tattletale and is not the color of the sun. Again, bolding those letters. And we proceed on to see the blue crayon, who is really tired because he's being used for everything, such as water and rain clouds and flowing rivers and whatnot. So he's a little stub, and he says that he needs a break, and he's tired of drawing all the lakes, oceans, and raindrops and whatnot. So he's just a little stub, and he can't even see over the railing in the crayon box, so he's pretty sad about that. And then the pink crayon is quite the opposite and thinks that she needs to be used even more often. She wants to be drawn as, dinosaurs or monsters or cowboys, but she's pretty grateful for Duncan's sister who drew a princess, and she says that she drew it pretty well and she stayed inside the lines pretty well. And you have the dinosaur, the monster, and the cowboy, and then the princess right here. And then finally we have the peach crayon, who has had all of his clothing taken off by Duncan for some reason, and he's complaining because he can't leave the crayon box. And he says, "How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Please help." And you can see his clothing right here, and he's sitting in the crayon box, just hiding from everything, And then as we go on further, we have all the notes compiled up as we've seen before, and Duncan just says he wants to color, and he wants crayons to be happy, so he decides to do as they say and give them their wish. And so we have this large page that we have all these drawings and illustrations, like a car, and the grass is green, and the road is blue, and the car is blue, and then the pink dinosaur and whatnot. So all these crayons are getting their wish. And Duncan even got an A for coloring and an A for creativity. So we have all the crayon colors coming out as one. And then the book citations are DeWalt drew Oliver Jeffers and Drew DeWalt, The Day the Crayons Quit, 2013 print. And then at the back of the book, we have a couple illustrations of some crayons holding up some picket signs saying "down with this sort of thing," or "we're not happy," or "boo," and the battle lines have been drawn. And then children will never look at their crayons the same again because each crayon seems to have its own personality.